Good evening. You are listening live to the Extreme Movie Show. I'm your host, Rob, broadcasting to you from the Pinellas Palace, just west of Orlando, Florida. I am in my extreme studio setup here. I've got from the great Midwest joining me tonight, all things connoisseur of manly men stuff, including cars and guns. That would be RDV, and that's an important thing to discuss because tonight's movie is all about cars and what best to do with them besides look at them and cruise for some pussy, and that would be, of course, driving.
Well,
And of course, it's the movie Driver by, as we like to say, RDV, a Walter Hill film, because this is a Walter Hill film where, as you and I always talk about stuff a certain way, different than Pixel, different than theorists get together. This one literally is, they just call people by like their functionality: driver,
well,
pickup guy, knuckles, teeth.
this is Walter Hill doing Grand Theft Auto.
It's where Grand Theft Auto gets the idea, because you're absolutely right. And boy, we've never really sat down and analyzed racing in movies, and as far as cars, and I don't mean like Tokyo Drift and all that shit racing. I'm talking like Bullet. I'm talking about like French Connection. This movie, holy crap, some fantastic, as you and I both love,
Car
regular
chases.
action sequences. They're still exciting. So this is just cool, and you
Yeah.
can definitely see where someone like a Michael Mann coming up their time might have been influenced.
Well,
by.
Thief
I
was
like
19
this film a lot.
This
And Thief.
was this was about 4 years before, or 3 years before Thief, which is 1981.
Yes.
So Michael Mann had to probably seen that, and got inspired probably by it for Thief.
I agree. So let's some shots we'll talk about. What's your initial take on this film?
I just came across it by random on an Instagram reel. So I was like, I saw the car chase in here, and I was like, dude, I'm sold. I want to watch this. And Ryan O'Neal from A Bridge Too Far, which he did the year before this, 1977, with Gene Hackman, and then you had Sean Connery and a few of those. We covered that movie on the channel. But honestly, whenever I see Ryan O'Neal, he reminds me of one of the actors from what is the Western show I was watching. I gotta look it up now quickly.
Come on, man.
I've been watching since early this year. Elliot Smith and Jones.
Oh, interesting. Really?
He reminds me of the tall blonde guy that's on there. He plays Kid.
He's a good-looking guy, but you know what? Let's talk about his looks while you're confirming this, because the other big guy at this time who was blonde, of course, would be
I don't know.
Robert Redford.
Oh, Robert Redford.
So you think about these two as leading men, and you compare them, you can definitely see Robert Redford's got the looks for what you would call like the all-American, good-looking kind of boys guy that's tough to kind of hate. And then you've got this guy Ryan O'Neal that almost looks like a sad sack in here. But I tell you, even though Bruce Dern's a bit of an asshole and strong in here, and Isabelle is just drop dead stunning and gorgeous with this great look on her face, Ryan O'Neal steals it for me. And this is a movie where there's not a lot of talking. It's all acting.
He's not a sad sack. He's a smart guy. He's got a guy. He's got a cop who's hell bent on getting him. And he knows it's him, but he can't prove it. And he puts his career on the line. Even it gets these two criminals, convince them to rob a bank and hire him just to trap him. But Ryan O'Neal pretty much already knows this guy is going to put him in a trap, and even though they do the bank job, they go to a different spot because the guy, the crook, the bank robber, doesn't deal with cops, so he double crossed the cop, and then he was going to shoot Ryan O'Neal. Ryan O'Neal is like, and I love how he's like, yeah, it's trouble, you schmucks. You guys don't carry guns. You're just drivers. And then Ryan O'Neal just shoots them dead. I love it. It's like it's. He's got that.
It's simple.
It's simple. It's simple. It's effective. And like I said, he plays it cool in here.
Yeah, he does.
And he does play it like what do we watched this thing with Robert Redford and Paul Newman. Robert Redford, the way he was calm, acted in the whole entire thing. Same thing here too. But what's interesting though is that Ryan O'Neal was not the first choice for this movie. This movie was crafted for.
As a lot of people. Yes,
Steve McQueen. It was because Walter Hill had worked on The Getaway and Bullet. So
Bullet has that nice chase at the end there. It's not a driving movie, but it's got a great chase scene in it,
Yes. And The Getaway, and so Steve McQueen turned it down and saying, I'm done doing racing movies. I've already done that. I'll do something else. I don't know if it would have been better with Steve McQueen in this,
Ryan brings what I'm not going to say I'm greatly familiar with this Kellogg. I'll say this and how massive a hit Love Story was back in the early 70s. Yeah. But for me, I really appreciate his intensity in here, and I like his look. There's nothing. There's none of the ancillary stuff that you might get distracted in the background, like eating, like talking, like a sexual relationship, anything else, politics, this and that,
No,
some evil dude.
it's
No, it's basically one or two characters. It's very superficial in that regard, but it's good enough because the guy's smart, he's competent.
yes.
So is the guy after him. So is the whole set. It's so simple and basic to follow.
And
you don't need to know their names.
you even get Matt Clark in here too. Matt Clark shows he's a partner for Bruce Dern, and Matt Clark. Once you see this guy, this actor, he looks like every single cop in every 1970s movie.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the sideburns and stuff, you know, and he's just got that look. And he also kind of reminds me of what was Don't Make Me well, the guy Jack McGee. That's what reminds me.
Jack McGee. He does look like Jack McGee from Incredible Hulk from the 70s.
I had to do a double take because I really hit no, it wasn't him. But yeah, it's such a great setup. You got a guy who basically lives, you know, he basically has no job, no girlfriend whatsoever, you know, and is careful about the jobs he does, you know, and puts his money away, you know, doesn't make any mistakes. He meets this girl, basically played by Isabelle. Yeah. And she's a poker girl. She plays poker professionally, and well, she's a 22-year-old girl that basically has a sugar daddy that has an apartment for her. That and the problem is that he stopped showing up. So the rent was he stopped paying for herself, and so she was hired through Ryan O'Neal's woman who gets in the jobs for him. She's a go between him, so he's never. That's smart because that way he's never tied to anything.
Right.
You know, of course these two decide to work together because they don't like Bruce Dern because Bruce Dern is a bad cop.
Yes.
He's a dick. He's abusive. Definitely breaking protocol.
But I will say this: we start seeing cops get really fucking militant, you know, in the late '60s, early '70s.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, and then they turn to buffoons in the '80s. Because you're right, he is the dickhead in here. I kind of like it in a way.
Yeah, it is.
But he doesn't talk a lot. But he's very smart. He knows what he's got to do to get the job done.
I was waiting, and I said on this, like, the only thing that's missing from this is Ryan O'Neal giving him a little smart aleck to give him a little lip back to him, because he knows the guy has nothing on him. You know,
I appreciated the complete lack of talking in this film, where you just sit back and you watch it and you listen to it. And
it's 90. And would you agree that 90% of, or at least 85% of it, is just all driving chase scenes?
Yeah. So we see his expertise demonstrated early on, and that's how we learn how his character is. And one of these things about being a Walter film, some people say it's like a Howard Hawks type film, which means it's very lean. It's like Bogart or whatever, where you just kind of know who the person is in the moment, and you see what they're like under action. There's no exposition. There's no trauma and how you deal with it, like current bullshit stuff. This guy's a pro. He's very smart at what he does. Yes, he's involved in something bad. Screw you and your ethics and how we're talking about it. We understand what's going on here. And so we get this great car chase scene at the beginning, which isn't the best one. It's the worst of the three, but it's still damn good.
I liked it. The car.
I liked it too. And I tell you, the shots of driving around at night and everything didn't bother me. And I went, God, Michael Mann, I have to think it's ripped this off, because the big thing about the car chase scenes, the thing I heard Walter Hill talk about in an interview that I was looking at just a few minutes ago, was that he really liked there's places you put cameras, right? You would have a camera on the front of the car looking in at the one or two people. You'd have a camera at the back. You'd have them inside looking out. He liked the shots from inside looking out, but also on the car. And in here you've got the camera shots down almost at the wheel base, in which when you're driving around and you're seeing it being cut and edited that way, it's really fast paced. It's really intense.
Yeah, Michael Mann decided to do everything but tire shots.
Exactly. With that low perspective, right? That was the whole thing, rather than looking at a top or like high up on the train.
When it shows Ryan O'Neal, you can easily tell that's probably a green screen that he's, obviously but obviously there's a stunt driver in there, but when it's Ryan O'Neal driving, unless it got a camera on there, it's a stunt driver. I think it's just Ryan O'Neal, and remember they sit on the bench and then they move the car this, and they have a green screen or something like that, or some rolling screen. It didn't look too bad. It didn't look like Police Squad, or like when they purposely do it, or even James Bond. I thought, because I'm kind of like, the way it was shot, I don't know if they were in a motionary or stationary thing,
I think most of it's legit and real.
Yeah. It looks like there's like they had a guy in a camera behind them or set up. They had mounted cameras inside the car. But I love it though because like this whole car chase, he gets 3 cops. He outsmarts the cops, causes the cops to crash into each other, flip over, and it wasn't as bad as Blues Brothers, you know. But it was like, but I kept thinking like this is like literally what I do in Grand Theft Auto. I have 4 stars, and I'm waiting for the helicopter above.
So you pull over and you wait for the timer to release.
And then you have the cop shooting at the tire, trying to shoot him with the shotgun behind him. But the trunk lid flies off and basically bounces off the cop car. And like I said, it's just, and then he plays chicken with them, because and then because they're not gonna hit him, they both crash into the things on both sides.
Those are great stunts, though. The way they're shot, the way they're captured, and you know what? Normally, that's the highlight of the movie. And I'm looking at you, Transporter, as well as the Bourne Identity movies, right? So I think you go back to this film and go, "Well, are they really better?" I love the Paris chase scene in the first Bourne movie. I think that's great. The second one in Russia or wherever it's at is pretty damn good too.
Transporter 3 is the one where he goes into the train.
Yeah, that's
he saw a super cop, and I'm landing the car in the train, not the motorcycle.
But you know what? I think the majority of the stunts here, though, are just very visceral. Like you feel like you're in the car, you feel like you're driving. There's no talking between people when they're in the car. It's just the cars are chasing. It's no picking up the CB and going, "Hey, we're turning east on Almadea. We're going up here. We're by Union Station."
Yeah, there's no audio of the cop cars.
Just the cars and horns honking and the actual real life streets that you can see. I mean, it's pretty intense. And also the one good thing about this movie too is it's tight. It's about 95 minutes. It's a great looking print. I know they've restored it. It's visually, it's you're watching it for the car chases. But again, he's got one outfit. That's it. She's got maybe 2 or whatever that, and she's quite stunning to look at in here. I looked her up. She hasn't had much of a career. She was European, French, whatever, but perfect in her role. And I like the fact that we don't know too much about her. It's not like they got to sit there and have sex and be romantic and play sexy music. None of that extra frills bullshit. This is a movie that felt like we had to get through it really quick, like a race.
So what I like about this movie is that obviously it inspired a lot of stuff towards there. Even if you remember going to PlayStation, they had a game called Driver.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the story a little bit, tweaked it out where they're undercover cop, basically, like, driver people. So, in different cities, right stuff. But, I said, like, this movie was very influential, even if the fact that it was a bomb,
it did do that well.
It bombed, it did well globally. It bombed domestically. And honestly, I gotta look up, see what movies were 1970. I know probably Star Wars were probably one of them or something like that.
Well, that was 77.
Yeah. 78 movies, but I mean, it had to have other stuff popping, competing against it. You had Paradise Alley, Convoy, Somewhere
Popular.
School. Yep.
Chuck Norris had a film out.
Superman, Jaws 2, National Lampoon's Animal House.
Mm-hmm. Some big films there.
Yeah. Grease.
Grease is the movie, bro.
Yeah, Deer Hunter.
But big, huge movie.
I Spit on Your Grave.
Good.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yep.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
A good remake.
What else do you have here? The first Piranha was out.
Yeah, first Piranha's solid.
Yeah. Of course, you had some foreign movies too as well, but Heaven Can Wait.
Popular.
Up in Smoke, Cheech Chong,
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, like you had some other movies out there. I mean, Blue Collar. Then The Driver. It was Then they had A Game of Death. So it wasn't really too far out from all the other movies. Convoy was turned out to be probably a big movie.
I've always said that there's like the subculture of like the biker films that were or stuff in the late 60s, early 70s, because biker gangs are really big. California's got tons of them, especially up in the mountains. We had them here in Central Florida. And so you don't really get into a lot of the backwards kind of cultural stuff, unless of course you're talking about the Burt Reynolds movie that everyone talks about, whose name escapes me. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting here because it's not about cool cars and racing them like Fast and the Furious. Okay, that's kind of updated. You can talk about drifting and the racing and all that stuff, and it's fine. Those movies, I guess, are okay if you like that sort of thing. But driving from one building to another is stupid. This movie, like I say, is really raw because now look, I'm not going to call myself a gearhead or motorhead or car freak or anything like that.
Yeah.
I had an old classic Porsche. I had several Firebirds. I've had several Camaros in my life. That's just what you had back then. You could go literally. I've literally bought in my 1970, 71 350 double barrel Holly kind of black Firebird leather interior for $300 cash off the side of the road. And it's just like, come on, I still wish I had that car. Here you've got a lot of great cars.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the Trans Ams, the Firebirds that are in there. And this is what I was going to bring up to you. I was completely shocked because I was distracted from the final chase scene, which is very, very long at the end, where there's the old switcheroo and the Union Station with the keys, and then when he basically he sets the cop up, knowing he's being followed by the bad guys,
Yeah.
to basically get the money that he's trying to transfer over, and of course he has to go to a go-between to get the money. So he goes to a public place, puts it in there, gets another key, involves the woman. The main baddie gets chased by the cops onto the train station. I love searches and stuff on trains. I'm a geek for that. And then basically when a guy gets shot and falls out the window, we get this long car chase, and it's awesome. But he's driving. I go, is that a Ford pickup truck? It's some sort of Ford thing. But here's the thing, RDV. Any of my older cars and sports cars that I have, if you would just put it neutral or just in park and you would start to rev it, especially if it was a 8-cylinder kind of thing, you'd hear that vroom, 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 that kind of just made like hair grow on your chest. And then as soon as you put it in drive and you touch it a little bit, your head would lean back because of the torque on it. I found out that this red car that he drives in here, I think in the 70s, considered the fastest from 0 to 100 at that time. And it was just interesting because this thing looked like a fucking club, right? It wasn't a sexy car he was driving, and he's chasing these other guys in a really much sexier car. And ultimately, he beats the shit out of them with the car as they get into this giant warehouse. And I'm telling you, in this warehouse scene where they're driving around, it's a real warehouse with real pallets and all that stuff. And you know that when they drive in there, okay, he basically chokes off the point, so he's going to have to figure out how to keep them in there. And you know that big drop-off area there was going to be the accident, which there is. This was tense. It was a lot of fun. It was really
nighttime driving, except for like that last one during the day.
Yeah, I mean, it was really awesome. I'm kind of pumped up. I just got done watching a little while ago myself after making some dinner, and I'm like, damn, this is much better than I thought.
So the other thing I want to point out is the second card where the guys, the bank robbers, one of the one guy insults him, says like, I don't know, I don't think we need this guy. So yeah, the jerk with the gun. So they get
off the grocery store.
They get in that little orange car, and they're in the parking garage, and he starts smashing up the car. I'm thinking like, gee, my Corolla got totaled by like someone just bumping it. Everything's all. I'm like, he was smashing into the front, the back, taking things off, showing how he could just. And then they drive under like the little like logger thing, truck, and then I'm like, I'm like, that car's still running.
Yes.
Like,
I'm telling you,
American Steel.
Here's the idea of the 70s, and you probably know a little bit more about guns and cars than I do, right? Like so. If you bought a washer or dryer in the 70s, or like a clock radio, let's say you got the cutting edge LED clock radios in the 70s, American manufactured.
Well, yeah, everything was made of
would last and still be around today.
Yeah.
I still have one from the 70s that my father had that works. I just need batteries.
We had a refrigerator that survived a house fire.
The refrigerators back then, I'm telling you, man, I know it's kind of a joke in the last Indiana Jones movie about surviving the nuclear blast, or the movie before that, whatever.
Yeah.
But the point is they did run. They were built for not for aesthetics, but for functionality, and they were simple. Yeah. Cars were that way too, where the idea back then, if you had steel your car around, these beasts are heavy. Yes, you did not get good gas mileage, but who cares? Gas was super cheap back then. You could hit somebody and you would just knock off a part and replace it. And yes, you still have the kinetic energy for all you science nerds that want to talk about safety and all that. But it's different today. The idea is that these cars with the mandates putting on them and the fuel mileage and all that kind of stuff, they go to cheap, lighter materials. So what happens is you have to replace the whole damn thing. Everything looks alike. They're not unique. And that's why cars are not sexy at all today anymore. Boring. I mean, Jaguar can't make a car. Ferrari's got tough times with it. Japan cars, nothing.
The Japanese copied what we're doing with our car stills, and they improved on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So then we stopped making our own stuff because companies found it was cheaper to have companies outside the U.S. get or just buy cheap steel from China, And I said, like, after that, it just got to the point where it was easier to they figured we'll buy from there, and they don't that way we cut corners, and it's just like who cares? Because you're gonna buy this car or anything. It has maybe about a 5-year lifespan before something goes wrong on it, seriously bad, or something, because they just don't care. And then you also got government motors, and all that stuff, GM and stuff, and just everything was started. Look at Fords.
Really went away from the United States.
Look at all the Fords
in the 90s.
Every freaking Ford or Dodge either has a power stroke, problem with it, or they have the coil pack on the Fords, goes on because they're made shit. Because they're all imported, from even though they have certain here, probably assembled in America, but the parts are not made here. So anyway, but get off that track. Driver, or actually known as The Driver, is available on Blu-ray right now. I watched an HD copy on YouTube. Unfortunately, the only copy is available anywhere out right now because it's not available on streaming whatsoever. I tried. I was like, I looked on even on Fandango at home, which used to be Vudu. I looked on there. I didn't even see it on Amazon Prime. You can buy it, but so if you want to watch an actual copy like we did, ripped it, I watched it on YouTube. Someone uploaded HD copy. The only problem is it's only a mono, so you only hear it out of your left ear. So it kind of sucked, but didn't really take away from the movie though for me.
No.
And there's also 3 different versions of this too. This movie apparently there's a TV cut, was cut a little shorter, and it's just like. But overall, like I said, this was a fun movie. You got two strangers who agree to con a dick cop, and make him look like a jerk towards the end of the movie, which I love. It's hilarious because at the end they look at it because he put the money inside the locker. The bag in there, and so when the cop finally catches up to him, he was like, open the locker, we want to see what's in there. He shows it. Oh, it's empty. I guess we were both swindled because the exchange man took the money.
Yes.
A
little cynical there, which I like. And 70s, that's how movies were. I know you said you like a happy ending. You like
it was kind of a weird ending though, because it's like play the freaking weird music, and it basically immediately cut the credits. Goes and the credits go, and like, what? It's kind of a weird ending. But you know what, though? I knew it was going to be a weird story because I just wanted to watch the car chases. I saw the car chases online, and I figured, why not talk about this? This looks cool.
Yeah, and it's a movie that I've heard referenced many times, and every time we've done a Walter film, we've always liked something about it. Like, it's
one of his most popular films, despite the fact that it being a dud.
Yeah, and that's not the only film of his that's been a dud, and not to go deep down it, but I remember we did one with Nick Nolte, and I was like, in Powers Booth, I'm like, holy shit, does it get more manly than that? And when you're watching it, you feel it.
Are you talking about Executive Prejudice?
Extreme Prejudice.
Extreme Prejudice is what it is.
85, 86, whatever it was.
And then also, Streets of Fire, he also did that too. And Streets of Fire also even had the woman from who played the witch in the new movie, The Weapons. She was also the same girl. Also the same girl who was an Uncle Buck. She was Chance. I said so I can't believe you guys didn't bring that up in your review. I was like, what? How did you not know that?
When we did Weapons, we just did a quick one.
I guess you recorded around 2 a.m.
So. Well, the point is we don't really look at all that stuff and connect it. We really don't.
I know, and I'm just shaking my head. It's like, why not?
Well, why?
Well, honestly, so why would you want to do your research? You're talking about a movie
because that's the whole thing of this is we typically don't research it.
No, you and Pixel don't. I do.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. It's a bit of a different way. So and we deliberately didn't want to say too much because if there was anybody that hasn't seen it, I will say that social media did a really good job of saying, hey, here's the ending of the movie if you haven't seen it, and they show a guy dressed up as an old lady running over fences and stuff, and if you see the ending of the movie, you're like, that makes sense, right? So I thought that was kind of cute how social media can do a good job of not really letting everybody know the ending of it, and that's the great thing about social media.
Here's my thing: if you're watching a movie review of a movie
and we're just letting people know it exists,
I'm just saying, if you're watching a movie review of a movie you haven't watched, you're already making a mistake. That's why I hate when people are like, "Oh, why do you spoil the movie?" It's why don't you go watch before you watch my review? It's called a review of the movie.
Yeah,
it's not a trailer review.
Well, if we did a deep 1 hour dive scene by scene, which sometimes we have done, I'm sure we would
Yeah,
have gotten to a lot of that. But
but
that's, we just wanted to, because we were hot on it doing it. And that's kind of what this movie was too. This movie was really hot as far as watching it. I don't understand why. Oh, let me put it this way. The best positive thing I can say about this film, besides that I really liked Ryan O'Neal in it, and it was a good film, and the chases are great, is I go, you know what? In the bigger sense, the way you and I talk movies,
yeah,
I can see where Michael Mann got some stuff. I could see where this movie, for what he tried doing, and I give Walter Hill a lot of credit for that. He tries to make a certain kind of movie. I don't think he set out to say, I'm going to make the best driving movie of all time, but he wanted to be realistic.
no,
He had
but
a particular vision with it, and you can see how it's influenced stuff now, 40 years later.
you could tell it was
Really.
like I said, after learning it was crafted for Steve McQueen, you can tell because Ryan O'Neal only speaks 350 words in the whole entire movie.
Yeah.
And then neither the word detective or driver come up in this movie.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So I guess that was interesting about this whole movie. It's different. It's low budget. Obviously, it had a budget of 4 million, roughly at the time. Nowadays, everything's like 100 something million. Now, and the box office came back with 4.9 million. Which I'm thinking I'm looking what movies beat this out. Jaws 2 beat this out. Jaws 2 was like in the top 10. And I was like, what? How does Jaws 2 beat this out? And then what was the other one?
Remember, Jaws came out before Star Wars.
Now,
and they also had a sequel before Star Wars.
Revenge of the Pink Panther did better than this movie.
I never
Deer Hunter,
Pink Panther love,
and Halloween. Okay, because here I'll give the top 10. Number 10 of 1978 was Halloween, followed by number 9 Deer Hunter. 8 was Revenge of the Pink Panther. Jaws 2 was number 7. Hooper was number 6. Heaven Can Wait is 5. Every Which Way But Loose is number 4. At number 3 is National Lampoon's Animal House. Number 2 is Superman. And number 1 is Grease.
Grease. Oh my God.
And it got me thinking, has there ever been a Superman ever debuted where it was the highest grossing movie of the year when it came out? Every reboot? I was wondering. I'm gonna have to look that up, see it, because I'm curious. Because Superman is basically my eyes bigger than Grease.
No,
I think
Grease was a phenomenon back at the time. People loved Superman, and it was extremely popular. But also at the time, movies played longer, so you got word of mouth and all that, and they would stick around. And so
Superman still talked about. I agree.
I understand what you're saying. I'm telling you, Grease at that time was a huge phenomenon, because I tell you what, the only thing Hollywood loves more than the kind of crap they love today is they have hard-ons for musicals. And so Grease, by default, that's just how it is. It attracts a certain kind of crowd, additionally, that Superman doesn't. Honestly, but it was a phenomenon. People love John Travolta. They love disco. They love music. Rocky Horror was big. That was the right movie at the right time, because nobody saw Grease really as a play. It was a movie that had Olivia Newton-John in it and John Travolta, and you saw it, and then holy crap, and then
and Grease 2 is better than Grease 1.
Interesting conversation to have. I don't know. Final thoughts?
Just if you guys have not checked this out, I'll post a link here in the thing if you want to go watch it on YouTube. Whatever, give this guy a like or whatever, and tell him he came to Extreme Loop Show.
This is a must for any action fan. Like good night now.
Right. Just remember to click the like button, all do that fun stuff, and leave a comment down below what you guys thought of this. Obviously, I think Anthony said he already seen this before.
Anthony's a big fan of it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was here. He was here at 8.
Like I said, I just came across it last night for the first time ever. I've never seen this. So, and leave a comment, let us know when did you first see this, and did you see it with your father or grandfather or whatever, did you see the drive-in, or did you see it in the theater, or did you watch it on TV with the edited cut? So, I guess we'll see you guys later then. Later.
Good night.